I'm Micah Halpern, sitting in for Tisha Bather, here with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, May 23rd, 2018. Arab culture is rife with conspiracy theories about Jews and the Holocaust. These canards are often spread by leaders and elites, even by professors. That is what happened recently on Channel 2, Egyptian TV. Professor Amr Alam, the head of the Hebrew department at Mamoud University, said, while on air, that, quote, the Israeli violence and aggressive spirit is embedded in the Jewish genes, unquote. Alam was a guest on The Blue Line, a popular weekly show which dwells on depicting Jews and Israel as evil. In this particular episode, the topic was the reasons for the, quote, abnormal, unquote, Israeli character. Hazem Abu Saud, the host of the show, said that the Holocaust was not directed specifically against the Jews, but against all the people suffering from diseases and so on, and that the Jews have exploited and continue to benefit from what happened to them in the Holocaust. New U.S. sanctions against Iran are already having an impact. The largest international shipping container company in the world, AP Moller-Maersk, has closed all operations in Iran. Maersk is so large that one cannot drive on any highway, even in the United States, without seeing dozens of their containers rolling along on 18-wheelers on their way to their destinations. The day before Maersk closed down their Iranian operation, Total Energy shut down their shop in Iran. Total Energy is one of the largest energy companies in the world, specifically for oil and gas. They employ over 100,000 people. These are only two of the many companies that now feel the pressure of the United States sanctions to abandon Iran. The sanctions mean that if companies continue doing business with Iran, they will not be able to engage in any economic banking activity in the United States. Following up on yesterday's report about Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas's hospitalization, the Palestinian press has released pictures of Abbas walking around and appearing to feel better. One picture, however, caused a commotion in the Israeli diplomatic circles. Abbas is sitting and reading an Arabic newspaper, the Palestinian daily Al-Hayat Al-Jadida. In the newspaper, one can clearly see a cartoon of an Israeli soldier force-feeding a baby bottle filled with poison to a Palestinian baby. The cartoon is titled Lila Randor. That is the name of the 8-month-old baby that the Palestinians claimed died of tear gas poisoning. The Gazan medical examiner declared that the reasons for her death were unclear. Also unclear was whether sending this picture of Abbas to the media was a deliberate act snubbing and attacking Israel or an inadvertent mistake. French Prime Minister Edouard Philippe has canceled a planned trip to Israel, an official at his office said on Wednesday. The official added that the reason for the cancellation was domestic policy matters that needed to be tended to in the coming days. Philippe was supposed to arrive for a 2-day visit starting May 31st. The French Prime Minister was set to launch the Israeli-French cultural season. Israeli officials said that the reason that was given them was merely a pretext. The real reason for canceling the trip was Israel's actions in Gaza and fear over how such a visit could be perceived in France. Despite the cancellation by France's Prime Minister, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is still expected to visit France in 2 weeks' time to meet with French President Emmanuel Macron. The great American Jewish prize-winning novelist, essayist, and social critic Philippe Roth has died. Roth was fearless in his descriptions and his critique of our society and culture, often touching on sensitive Jewish subjects. He wrote about sex, death, assimilation, and fate. According to most critics, his most famous novel was Portnoy's Complaint, a novel filled with humor and biting critique. Roth, aged 85, died Tuesday night in New York. The cause of his death was congestive heart failure. Philip Roth was an author of more than 25 books. He was fond of quoting Kafka, his hero, and even wrote in one of his novels, The Ghostwriter, quote, "We should only read those books that bite and sting us," unquote. Roth insisted that he was not a Jewish author. He was not like Bernard Mamoud or Saul Bellow. He believed that he gave voice to the first group of Jews who were full-fledged Americans. However, his work was totally informed by his Jewishness. On a personal note, I will miss him. We used to meet and speak regularly on Broadway, outside Zabar's, near his home on 86th Street in Manhattan. A street bookseller would have a collection of Philippe Roth's books on his table wrapped in plastic to keep them perfect. When Roth was in a bad mood, there was no discussion. When he was in a good mood, he would wax eloquent about whatever was on his mind. Roth was one of a kind. May his memory be blessed. I'm Micah Halpern, and this is today's news update from JBS.